The Company of Heaven has told us that this year of unique awakening and manifestation is succeeding beyond even the expectation of the heavenly realms. With the unprecedented influx of powerful new solar light codes we are being blessed with, and the myriad activities of light people around the world have been co-creating so far in 2025, millions of people who were on the verge of awakening have now fully awakened. We are also being told that millions of people who are still asleep are destined to complete this awesome shift of consciousness during the remaining events that will be co-created through the unified efforts of heaven and earth in 2025. The Company of Heaven is asking us to flood the mental and emotional strata of Mother Earth with tangible information that will support this unique awakening and remind these precious souls of the profound truth that we are one with all life and that love is all there is. This truth often seems mind-boggling to people when they first hear it. For this reason, we are being asked to share the very practical information on this subject that is being reiterated at this time by the Company of Heaven for newly awakened humanity. Even if you have had this knowing for a very long time, by adding your light as you listen to these words, you will exponentially benefit those who are uniquely awakening. And we begin. The light of God is increasing on earth. This is due to myriad activities of light that have been co-created through the unified efforts of embodied light workers and the Company of Heaven. This influx of light is causing an awakening to take place within the hearts and minds of people everywhere. These awakening souls are beginning to ask the questions, who am I? Why am I here? In response to this heartfelt inquiry, the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth have been given permission by our Father, Mother God, to collaborate with us in new and far more tangible ways. This unprecedented divine intervention is flooding the mental and emotional strata of Earth with sacred knowledge designed to assist humanity during these glorious but very difficult times. The divine intent of this assistance from on high is to provide the divine wisdom and the necessary tools that will help every person on the planet to discover the answers they are seeking. Our I Am presences have guided us through the learning experiences we needed in this lifetime to fulfill our divine plans. Our beliefs are sacred, and we are all in our right and perfect place. The information pouring forth from the realms of illumined truth is not intended to dispute our present belief systems or to tell us that what we believe is wrong. It is being given at this time to enhance what we already know and to give us greater clarity, understanding, and encouragement. As we allow the truth of this information to resonate in our heart of hearts, the distortions in our belief systems that are preventing us from reaching our highest potential will be exposed. When this occurs, we will be able to recognize viable solutions to the maladies existing in our individual lives and on the planet. The words, "We are one," have reverberated through the hearts and minds of humanity in one form or another since the beginning of time. As we observe the events taking place all over the world, we begin to understand more than ever before that these words are not just a lofty platitude or a sweet cliché, even though our human egos have often perceived them as such. The words, "We are one," proclaim a profound truth from the time we were first breathed into manifestation as individualized children of God. It has never been more imperative that we grasp the full magnitude of this profound truth. Daily and hourly, we witness myriad atrocities appearing on the screen of life. It seems as though in every conceivable corner of the world, people are inflicting pain, suffering, injustice, and even death on their fellow human beings. The only way that behavior could possibly make sense or be justified in anyone's mind is through their ignorance of the reality that we are all one. To inflict harm on another human being is totally and completely ludicrous in the face of that profound truth. It is self-destructive and suicidal. It is unconscionable and uncivilized to harm any part of life. During the unprecedented influx of light that is taking place on Earth at this time, our problems seem as though they are being exacerbated. This is occurring for a very specific reason. Let's look at the bigger picture for a moment so that we can get a clearer perspective of what is actually happening on the planet. Once again, ask the divinity pulsating within your heart flame, which is your I Am presence, to take full command of your conscious mind. Allow these words to awaken within you the inner knowing and the remembrance of who you are and your oneness with all life. When this truth awakens within your heart flame, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are not the fragmented, fear-based aspect of your personality known as the human ego. You are an empowered and deeply loved child of God. In truth, you are a magnificent, multifaceted, multi-dimensional reflection of our Father, Mother, God, and all that our beloved godparents have is yours. You are a radiant sun expressing all of the various frequencies of divinity pulsating in the causal body of God. You are a god or goddess participating in the greatest leap in consciousness ever experienced in any system of worlds. You are a powerful instrument of God, and together with lightworkers all over the world, you are co-creating a new octave of godhood. Your light is now expanding the infinite body of God without measure, and you are lifting every particle of life ever breathed forth from the core of creation into the dawn of a new cosmic day. You may not realize this truth just yet, but you are a wondrous gift to this planet. All life evolving here is blessed by your presence. Now, from this level of understanding, let us proceed. What we call God is the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and all-encompassing luminous presence of divinity that envelopes all life everywhere. This includes every minute, electron, atom, and subatomic particle and wave of life evolving in any time frame or dimension, known or unknown, throughout infinity. God is all that is. What that means, both literally and tangibly, is that everything that exists anywhere in the whole of creation is a cell in the body of God. Knowing that, we can then understand that all life forms live, move, breathe, and have their very existence in the body of God. Therefore, what affects one part of life affects all life. What affects one cell in the body of God has an effect on all of the cells. This means that, quite literally, all life is interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent. This is the reality of our oneness. Every single thing we do affects the whole body of God. Every thought, word, action, or feeling we have changes the dynamics of the entire universe. There is no such thing as neutral energy. At any given moment, depending on our frame of mind and our emotional state, we are either adding to the light of the world or adding to the shadows. How is that for an awesome responsibility? So, why do things seem to be getting worse day by day? Because the light of God is increasing on earth. It is very important for us to really understand this phenomenon so that we will be able to see the bigger picture and not allow ourselves to be overwhelmed with feelings of fear or hopelessness when we observe the painful events being pushed to the surface on the planet. As the light of God flows into the physical plane through humanity's newly awakened hearts and minds, it pierces into the core of purity in every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life evolving on Earth. As the light penetrates into the core of purity in every electron of life, it activates the immaculate concept that is encoded there. The immaculate concept for any of God's creations is the blueprint for that expression of life's full divine potential. The activation of the immaculate concept is happening within all life on this planet at this time. This is true whether we are talking about a person, a place, a condition, or a thing, or whether we are referring to the human kingdom, the elemental kingdom, or the angelic kingdom. No matter how distorted or mutated a life form seems to be, within its core of purity, the immaculate concept of its original divine potential still exists. Without the core of purity, no life form can survive. In other words, even within the most depraved or degenerate soul, there still blazes a spark of divinity within their heart flame, with all of its divine potential. Otherwise, that soul could not exist. This is a vitally important point for us to comprehend. Once we really grasp this truth, it will change the way we look at life and how we feel about people in general. We are all one. Every facet of life in the whole of creation pulsates in the body of our Father, Mother, God, all that is. Consequently, every thought, word, action, or feeling we express is either adding to the light of the world or the shadows. This means there is no such thing as us and them. We are all in this together. We need to stop looking at life through the eyes of separation and fear. Instead, we need to recognize our oneness and take action from that perspective. Within the core of purity in every human miscreation, the original divine potential of that energy still exists. Within every electron of poverty still pulsates the potential of God's limitless abundance. Within every electron of disease still pulsates the potential for vibrant health. Within every electron of war still pulsates the potential of eternal peace. Within every electron of hate still pulsates the potential of divine love. What is happening on the planet now is that the light of God is flowing into the earth at an accelerated pace through the heart flames of awakening humanity. This influx of light is activating the immaculate concept of the original divine potential within everything that conflicts with the light. This phenomenon is pushing every frequency of energy, vibration, and consciousness that conflicts with our divine potential to the surface to be transmuted and healed. The reason things look so dire at this time is because it is very easy for us to witness the negativity being pushed to the surface all over the world, but we cannot as easily see the incredible light of God that is pushing that misqualified energy to the surface. Therefore, from our limited perspective, it looks like things are getting worse, but that is an illusion. And nothing could be farther from the truth. It is certainly not the intent of our Father, Mother, God for the increased influx of light to take us down the tubes. In fact, if there was even the slightest potential of that happening, the present level of cleansing would not be occurring. All of us have been preparing for eons of time to assist during this unique moment on Earth. Our responsibility as light workers is to daily and hourly use our creative faculties of thought and feeling to add to the light of the world. With every thought, word, action, or feeling we express, we can ask ourselves, in this moment, am I adding to the light of the world or the shadows? If we are not adding to the light of the world, we can ask ourselves, how can I change the way I am thinking, feeling, or acting in this situation in order to add to the light of the world instead of the shadows? How can I react to or solve this problem in a loving, positive way? By quieting ourselves, taking a deep breath, and asking our I Am Presence for guidance, we will begin to perceive other loving ways to respond. Then we can go into action and deliberately do whatever is necessary to improve the way we are handling the situation. We do not have control over the things that are happening in our lives or on the planet, but we do have absolute control over how we choose to respond to them. Once we have mastered this ability, which is actually not too difficult with consistent practice, we can share what we have learned with our families, our loved ones, and the people in our spheres of influence. This does not mean judging people or getting on our soapbox or preaching to them. It means giving people a drink from our cup of knowledge. Once they have indicated that they are ready to receive it, the effects of our experiences and our sharing will be exponential. Step by step, we will educate the masses of humanity and help people remember the oneness of all life. Through this process, people will learn that when we hate anyone, it is the same as hating ourselves. When we are prejudiced or discriminate against someone because of the color of his or her skin, religion, nationality, culture, gender, lifestyle, economic or social status, it is the same as hating ourselves. Precious heart, please contemplate this sharing and feel this truth resonating as a profound knowing within the divinity of your heart flame. I wish you infinite love, and I look forward to being with you next week. God bless you.